Hey Pointer people, and welcome to another episode of What's the Point? I'm today's host, Claude, and with me today is Bree from the University Writers. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing as good as I can in this day and age.
Sounds about right.
Why don't you give me a brief description of this organization?
University Writers is a small organization here on campus that is dedicated to any creative arts, mostly writing, but we also encourage any forms of artistic arts, so like drawing, webcomic creating, or just about anything in between.
That sounds really cool. What drew you to that organization and being a part of it?
I originally was drawn to it my freshman year when I came here during the involvement fair, and the thing that stuck out to me is they didn't have like those nice like professional looking cards. They just had like note cards cut out with like a name stuck on it, and I was like, you know what, that's impressionable, and I like that, and I like the underdog, so I'm gonna go try this club out and stuff. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna do this.
That sounds personable. I like that. I like that a lot. You can feel a little bit more attachment, less feels like you don't need to have certain like requirements to be in writing or drawing.
Yeah, it didn't feel too professional, but it didn't feel too unprofessional too.
That's awesome. I love that. What position are you in at this club now?
I am currently the president, and I have been the president for the past 3 years.
Oh, that sounds awesome. You really got attached to that group. That's great.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me a little bit more? I've heard something about Barney Street. Can you give me some info on that?
Yes, Barney Street is our annual publication. Every year, University Writers does this really cool thing where we take work from students who are here on campus as well as our distanced campuses, so like Wausau and Marshfield, I want to say is where it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we take work from anybody from any of the Stevens Point campuses, and we have them submit it to us. And then over winter break, we view the submissions, and we choose what poems, pieces of artwork, writings that people have sent us that we really like and really feel like emphasize who Point is for that year, and then we put them into a publication at the end of the spring.
That sounds really cool. So you have branches across the UWSP universities, or is it just anyone?
We don't have any branches yet. We're hoping to maybe reach out and connect with some people, but we're open to anybody who's in both the Stevens Point area as well as anybody on campus, because we don't discriminate from people who aren't enrolled in school, because creativity doesn't stop if you're in school.
That sounds really inspirational. It makes me kind of want to do that. That's great. So why don't you tell me what it is like for a day in the University Writers?
So for a normal meeting for University Writers, we start off with like greeting everybody and just kind of like checking in, because we always want to make sure that our fellow friends and people are doing okay. And if not, we try to like offer up as much advice as we possibly can. And then we usually go into a writing prompt. We usually have 3 or 4 selected writing prompts. These can vary from a single word prompt like mud butter, to many other things, to full-on quotes and sentences that's just there to give people inspiration or give them ideas, help people get out of like their comfort zone, or help them get out of a roadblock that they might be stuck on.
That's very cool. I have one more question. What's your favorite part about being in University Writers?
My favorite part of being in University Writers is you don't have to hide who you are, and that's the best part about it, because you can do anything. You can write about whatever you want, so if you really do a lot of poetry, you can do poetry. If you do a lot of like novel writing and short stories, you can do that. If you really aren't that big into writing, but you're like, hey, I kind of have a comic idea, awesome. You're more than welcome to do whatever you want. And that University Writers is so open and so available that you can be whoever you want to be in University Writers, and you don't have to feel like you're hiding.
Sounds really that sounds exceptional. That I love every bit about that. Let's see. It sounds very easy to get involved. How can people do that?
Yeah, it's actually really easy to get involved. You can find us on Spin. That's where we've got a lot of that's where we post our Zoom meetings, because we do have to do Zoom meetings just like everybody else. But you can find us on Spin. We also have a Facebook page that is UWSP University Writers. We also have an Instagram that is UWSP Writers. And then we also have a blog spot that's We Are All Right, write as in writing, at blogspot.com.
Sounds very fun. and a great organization to be a part of. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will have a fun game for you. So stay tuned, everyone.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Cam, and we're co-editors for The Pointer.
The Pointer is a student-run newspaper at UWSP. Student employees handle every aspect from writing to advertising to delivering the papers. We also offer, of course, the benefits of a newspaper, of community engagement and understanding about what is going on around us and what kind of reality we're living in.
There's a lot that people can do. Of course, we have like a lot of positions for reporters or for section editors, and people can write for like sports or news. But we also have, space for people who are into photography. We also have people who are interested in doing things for like the online and graphic design to like form our layout. There's a lot of different opportunities for different kinds of people.
All right, and welcome back, Pointers. I had some fun, Bree, with your exec staff and had them send us some haikus for you to guess who wrote them. We're gonna test your boundaries and see how well you know your people. We'll start off easy with this scrumptious little poem. Danny Dorito, tasty and covered with cheese. I eat him all up. Now, who do you think wrote that?
I'm pretty sure that was Mackenzie Steidle.
You would be correct. That is Mackenzie. Let's see if you can go all the way with all of these. Here's the next one. Flutter, wings flutter, minuscule, ugly winged raisin, your sickness wrought. Who wrote that one?
I want to say that sounds like Sarah Hamas.
That's 2 for 2 so far. You're on fire.
Heck yeah.
All right, let's see if you can go 3 for 3. Fat man sees small door. He knows he cannot fit through. Tears flow freely now. Who wrote that?
I want to say that one's Nathan Grimes.
No, you
No?
are incorrect. That one is Caitlin.
That Caitlin?
That is Caitlin.
Wow.
Yeah. Last one. Haikus are tricky. Never enough syllables. Mine always end to.
That one would be Nathan.
That one is Nathan. I like that last one. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it is.
Because they're usually nature poems, right? Haikus?
Usually, yeah.
haikus?
They don't have to be just nature poems, but a lot of them are kind of centered around nature.
I remember writing one once about an owl. Could not tell you anything more about it. That's as far as that memory goes.
That's brilliant.
The quality of that poem was probably needed to be forgotten. Anyways, congratulations on getting 3 out of 4. I still think that's pretty good. I personally don't know anyone of these people, but I'd love to get to know them based off of these. It seemed very interesting, that's to say the least.
Yes, we're a very interesting group of people. Bunch of goofballs. It's essentially like trying to keep Jell-O nailed to a tree.
Jell-O nailed to a tree. Now that is a visual. Do you have any, like with you, before you were mentioning about how you use random words to help people get out of roadblocks and writer's block, do you have one moment in particular that you remember, some phrase similar to, I'm wondering how people got into this mindset that helped you get through one, or a particular Jell-O to a tree?
That'd probably be my freshman year. I've been working on a novel for about 6 years now, and so I come into roadblocks with it a lot. Mm-hmm. And one of our last meetings for University Writer was just kind of like a really fun, chill thing we did down at the basement brew house, and we were just taking like random words from people's shirts to use as inspiration.
That's smart. I like that.
And one person's shirt just said wood on the back of it. That's all it said. And we had to make a prompt around that. And I remember one of the other members, what they wrote really, really well, because it was essentially just a story of some person who got really high and thought wood was amazing. And it made me laugh so hard. It helped me get out of my roadblock, because that was just so humorous to me that I decided to take that little bit of a step back, look at it from a different perspective, and then jump back into it. So it was a great, it was one of the funniest things, and there's so many quotes from that night alone that are so memorable to me because it's just wood, man.
Well, maybe the next time one of those come up, I'll hopefully be there, or some more people will. So we just had a lot of fun with our haikus, but we're going to take another quick short break, and we'll be back with the question of what's the point.
For the health and safety of students, faculty, and staff, SBTV would like to remind you about the new rules we have on campus to help stop the spread of COVID-19.
Face coverings are required indoors and in public spaces. This includes classrooms, laboratories, studios, and other instructional spaces. Please also wear your mask outdoors when physical distancing is difficult to maintain.
No matter where you are, please maintain social distancing. Remain 6 feet apart from each other whenever possible. Our public spaces are still open, but we ask that all visitors follow social distancing guidelines. Feel free to use a computer, just make sure you lightly sanitize it when you are done.
Thanks everyone, stay safe.
We've had a lot of fun on here, but we're wrapping up now, and I'm going to ask you, what's the point of University Writers?
University Writers is just a place for people to come, relax, kind of de-stress from all the things that are happening in the world around us, and enjoy being who they are, as well as meet some other really fun, really crazy folks.
Sounds like a good time. Thank you so much, Bree, for coming on here and being a part of the show. I'm definitely inspired to write some poetry of my own. Would you like to hear the haiku that I just came up with on the spot during commercial break?
I would love to.
Okay. SPTV's cool. You should stay tuned for more shows. See you all next week. But we're not done yet. I'm proud of that one.
Good job.
For University Writers, where can we find you on and offline in these times?
You can find us online at our Facebook page, which is UWSP University Writers, our Instagram, UWSP Writers, our blog spot. You can find me pretty much roaming around on campus, or you can always email universitywriters@uwsp.edu if you have questions. Otherwise, we are going to be trying to do a meeting at the Schmeekly gazebo with social distancing and masks, so then we can actually kind of meet each other in person next week on Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
All right, thanks so much for watching, everyone. And if you want more SPTV content, check out our YouTube channel and check us out on our other social media, including Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at SPTV UWSP. That's What's the Point?